Welcome, friends. It's good to see you again on another Monday night. And tonight we are going to dive into the basics of the Young Living business. And I just want you to know ahead of time, this isn't going to be like the high level, intense study of the business where you walk away knowing every single in and out. The purpose of tonight is really to answer some of the basic questions and to give you a good overview of what sharing Young Living looks like. Because oftentimes, if we can help people get started in sharing and understand the benefits, then as they grow, they will continue to learn. And it just becomes something that with each level that you reach, you dive in a little bit deeper and you learn what you need to know to get to the next level. I can promise you that when I got started with Young Living back in 2007, I did not know what was required to become a Young Living Gold or a Young Living Platinum. And certainly I had no clue what it would mean to become a Young Living Diamond. But I didn't really need to know that information at that time. I needed to know what it meant to enroll my very first person. And then once I did that, I needed to just know, what does it mean to become a star? And once I did that, my curiosity was a little bit piqued and I wanted to know what it meant to become a senior star. So we kind of work one step at a time. But I want to share a few resources with you tonight. I have a PowerPoint presentation prepared that has a lot of great information. And for those of you that are visual learners, I think that you will appreciate that the most. And we also are going to hear from Heather Finnegan, which I'm super excited about. And Heather, I'm going to have you share right after I talk about a few of the resources, okay? Anybody else that is joining us tonight, here's your 10-minute warning. I would love to hear more testimonials, perhaps about what it looked like when you enrolled your very first member, or what it looked like when you hit the rank of star. Some of you have gone way beyond that, and I congratulate you and high five you. But honestly, tonight, I want you to think back to how it worked for you to get from step 1 to step 2. Because that's truly what we all want to be able to do for our newer members, is help them visualize what's possible and then help them go from step 1 to step 2. Okay. So one of the things as a leader on this team that I have tried to do a decent job of is whittling down all of the resources that are available to a handful of things that I feel like are really helpful. Now, in no way does this mean that you are limited to learning only from these resources, because that would be silly. But after having gone through a lot of them, I happen to think that these are some of the most helpful. So first and foremost, if you are wanting to learn about the business, and you want a free resource, I would like to recommend the Rise book. This comes free to you in your virtual office. There are a multitude of great resources in there. Now, obviously, it's not a paper copy in your virtual office. It is a downloadable, printable copy. But if you are watching this and you are part of our team, I will gladly mail you a copy at no expense to you. I want to get these into the hands of members who will read them. All you have to do is message me, okay? This has a great step-by-step workbook with some fill in the blank stuff that will help you just kind of go from step 1 to step 2. Okay, so the Rise book is my #1 recommended resource. In terms of inspiration and why you would ever want to consider building a network marketing business, the second resource that I think is absolutely just incredibly valuable is called The 4-Year Career. And this is a book that is by Richard Blissbrook, and he is an outstanding mentor for people in all companies. He has a podcast that is wildly inspiring. He is married to Kimmy Brook, who is a tremendous diamond leader in Young Living. And this is just filled with great wisdom, not specifically even about Young Living, but just about why building a second or third or fourth stream of income, whatever it might be for your family, why that is just a really smart move. Okay. And we'll talk about one of the things as we go through the PowerPoint, but Richard just has some very practical basic math. Like, for example, how much money would you have to have invested in a mutual fund in order to just reap a passive income month after month, like kind of like what Young Living can bless us with? And I think when we start thinking of it in terms like, how much money would I have to amass to get, let's say, $250 a month? That doesn't sound like a lot of money to most of us. But if you think about it, I believe that at about a 6% interest rate, you would have to have somewhere in the neighborhood, oh gosh, now I'm going to say the wrong number. I think it was somewhere around $250,000. Somebody can correct me on that math. Now I'm second guessing myself. But it was a massive chunk of money to get $250 a month just as passive income. And those are the things that I think sometimes we need to step back and think, man, this actually would be really smart to just jump in, build it, make it work, make it solid. And it does not mean that you are married to it forever. In fact, I could tell you a lot of stories about people that build it to a secure level and then they chase some other dreams, and that is okay. All right, a couple more resources that I'm a huge fan of. This little one is called Oil Share Repeat. This is a book by my friend Dory Doyle. She's got a great name. Anybody named Dory has got to be a lot of fun, right? She's just a sweetheart. She has 2 children and a great husband. And the Oil Share Repeat book is what I call sort of your first training manual. As you can see, it's not terribly thick. It gives you a good how-to, okay? But it's not all of the details, okay? But here's what's neat. The partner book, the sister book, is called Propel. And this is written by Nicole Perez. This is a little bigger, both in size and thickness. And this is a lot more in depth. So when you've read Oil Share Repeat and you sort of have a grip on that, Propel is an excellent place to go next. And here's a fun fact. When you hit the rank of senior star on our team, you will receive your very own copy of this for free. Okay? So if you're star right now and you're thinking, ooh, that would be a good investment, let me tell you a great way to get it free. Hit senior star and I will mail it to you. Okay? So the last resource that I want to share before we pop over to hear from Heather, this is a very simple flyer. And this comes from the same ladies that wrote Propel and Oil Share Repeat. And what I like about this is that it is very inexpensive and it is something that you can easily share with new members on your team as you're talking about the opportunity to earn a little extra income to pay for their products or to pay for something else. Okay, so you open this thing up and it has a little bit about crafting your own story, which is very important. People want to hear your story. It talks about the income potential. It talks about the cycle of oil, share, repeat. And it talks about things like essential rewards and retail member versus wholesale member and that sort of thing. Now, I will say this as a disclaimer. We know that the whole verbiage of our business is changing and will be transitioning a little bit, quite a bit, as we roll out the new website. So some of these resources are probably going to be changing. So here's what I'll say to you. If you would like any of these before they are adjusted, let me know, because I've probably got about 50 or so. I'm happy to share. They're not doing me any good in my cupboard. So if you have some friends that you want to share those with, just let me know. Okay, most of you know exactly how to get a hold of me. So, okay, that's our little bit about some resources. So what I want you to be thinking of next, and what we're going to hear from Heather, is kind of her Young Living story, how she got introduced. And what I talked to Heather about earlier was really what I want to know is what compelled you to share with your first person, and how did you happen upon the Young Living business? Now, I'll just say Heather's business is booming. She and her team are doing absolutely fantastic. And I'm going to let her share some of the things that have been working really well. And then when she is done, if anybody else would love to chime in, just let me know. I would love to hear from you. Heather, take it away.
All right. Hey, everybody. Gosh, I don't feel like mine is like anything special, but it is just I just love sharing it. So I'll try not to word vomit, because that's like my thing that I do with people. So I mean, for me, the thing I get from people all the time, and this was where I was too, was, oh, but I don't want to sell things. And so I just simply explained that you're really truly just sharing. So that's what it started out for me was, I have a personal story, which I feel like many of us do, why we got into oils or a certain product or a certain oil in the starter kit that was our aha oil. And I kind of just took that and ran with it. And because I saw like, wow, that actually worked. And wow, that one actually worked. And that actually worked too. Because I saw that it was like too easy not to share, or too good not to share, I should say. And so, and we had, I'll just be honest, guys, we've done a few other MLMs before, and nothing is just, nothing is like Young Living, and just the variety, the all encompassing that they have, so many products that it's literally your one-stop shop. So I brag about that to people as well. But, I actually was a couple of points that I've learned most recently was about the book that Skyla shared, The 4-Year Career. That book, I haven't read through all of it, but there were certain points that it really changes your mindset, on how this type of business model is very effective. And it just got me and my husband really thinking about just the real like potential with that. And I have some friends that are stay-at-home moms, and they love doing that. And I always question them, like, what if your husband could be a stay-at-home with you? Like, how awesome would that be? And me and my husband both still work right now, but that is like absolutely our goal. Like, obviously at one point I want to be a stay-at-home mom, but our ultimate goal is for us to be a stay-at-home family, to not lose that time with our kids because that is so precious. So some things that have worked for us, whenever there's a new person, we welcome them and offer them an online party. I usually do that through Facebook, and it's usually pretty, um, low threatening. A lot of people are having parties, especially during the holiday season. I started doing these a ton back in like March or April because we couldn't meet in person, and those were a huge hit. There are some disadvantages. You can't smell the oils, touch, see, all that stuff, but that was really what made a huge success in my team. And it kind of just dominoed into, every time somebody had a party, then we would ask anybody that signed up from their party if they wanted to have a party and so forth. And I really go off of the oh my gosh, what's it called? The Rising Star, or no, that's the old one. The silver bound bonus structure. Yeah. And just explaining that to people, that little graphic, and sending it along, because a lot of times people have a party and they'll sign up 5 friends, and I just get to them from the get-go and I'm like, okay, you're going to want to place people so you can hit this, so you can get this bonus, sign up your husband so then he can hit his bonus. And then they're just like, they can't kind of shut up about it because it seems so natural and so easy. And I saw a lot of people of you guys commenting, and this has happened to several of our downlines, that they hit star by accident. Or I remember when I first hit star, I think Skyla reached out and said congrats, and I'm like, I don't even know what that means because I did it by accident too. And that's the cool thing about like a lot of my team stories and my personal story. I didn't start out wanting to sell or with the motivation to sell. I was genuinely sharing, and I accidentally hit star. And then I saw how easy it was. And now just seeing the potential that it has for my family, and just that time freedom that is available is just like, it's so priceless for us. So we've done online parties, and my husband's super supportive, which is like a huge factor, I think, into our team. He will admit it took him a little bit to come around, but once he was in, like, he's all in. So that's been super helpful, and we frequently will have talks about new changes or different specials or different things that we want to do, as far as sending things out via email, Facebook posts, snail mail, because I think sometimes when I post things that everyone sees everything, but that's not always the case, because I know I miss stuff even that Skyla posts in Healthwise Heroes, because there's so much out there. So different avenues of communication has been key in reaching out personally and just building those relationships and those connections. I really hope and I think that people on my team know that I genuinely care about them, even if I've never met them in person, about their financial like benefits, that they're hitting these ranks and getting this revenue and this income, but also just the bottom of it is that they're making healthier choices and investing in their health. My husband posted a little quote the other day that really hit me, and it said, maybe you guys have seen this. I think it said, if you're not willing to give the time into your health now, you will pay for your illness later, or you'll have to, if you can't give time into your health now, you'll have to give time into your illness later. And that just really hit me. And that's been something that's kind of been replaying in my mind lately. So yeah, I didn't know if there's other things you want me to talk about, Skyla, or specific things.
I think that is absolutely amazing. And I appreciate you sharing that, Heather. One of the most important things that you said right at the beginning was that you feel like your story is not necessarily anything special. And that is what makes it special. I don't think any of us, myself included, we didn't start out guns a-blazing, like we just started. And what makes this work is the consistency and the kind of the just the decision. I know I have talked to Heather a little bit here and there about their goals for their family. And I know that if she and Ben stay the course, and they are doing great at consistently enrolling a handful of people each month. And it may not be 20 people a month, but you know what, you guys? The average diamond leaders enroll 2 people a month. 2. And it's the consistency factor. If I can enroll 2 a month, which sometimes I do, sometimes I don't, but if I can teach that, and that is our team culture, guess what happens after a few months of everybody just enrolling 2 a month? That will transform your whole life. Promise me. So Paula Hamilton said in the chat here that she would love to know a little bit more about your online parties. And so Heather, if you want to share about those now, I would love that. And also Paula and everybody else, we have another class that we did back in, gosh, Heather, was it April maybe when you and Chelsea and Caroline, April or May? And I will be glad to share that link. It's on my YouTube channel. And that kind of goes in way, way more in depth about how it works. But do you want to go ahead and share just a little bit?
Sure. Yeah. And just to add to Nita's last post, we most recently have been incorporating the carbon copy transfer buying sheets into our welcome pack, or not if in our welcome pack, into our like second month. Just because I think people are like, oh, hey, I got my oils. And then that's it. They don't get on ER. They don't get anything else because they don't know about this sheet that Skyla has there. And I think those are just super helpful to show, like, hey, do you use toothpaste? Yep, we got that. Do you use shampoo? Yep, we got that. Okay, so my parties. So before the pandemic, I was doing them in person, and those were a lot of fun. We were coming in. We actually had a really successful one over a year ago, last September. And it was just like a party. This whole family just like invited all their families, their friends over, and we just played a couple games and went through the kit. But then when everything kind of went on to online, what I've been doing is I just do a live and a Facebook event. So I make a title that says, Heather's oily party, or sometimes I'll say Young Living party, or chemical free party, or toxin free essential oil party, or something like that. And I have that person as the host invite people to the event. And I've learned a lot of stuff along the way. So one mistake, or one thing I've learned from, I should say, is that I was scheduling the event for a specific date. So I would say Monday night at 8 p.m., which would be when I would do my live. But here's the trick. Then the party would end. It was closed. So any posts I did after that, which that's like all the important stuff. I mean, leading up to it is important, but after the live is like the important stuff. I don't think anybody was getting notifications unless they had turned them on. But as far as Facebook's concerned, the event is closed. So I saw somebody else do a week long. So now when I do a party, I might do it Sunday to Sunday. And in the description, I have a little description kind of just about what we're going to be talking about, and chemicals in your daily products that you might not know about. But at the beginning, I'll put a bunch of exclamation points and emojis that says live Thursday, 8 p.m. Central Time, because sometimes we'll get people in different time zones. So that people will see it's a week going on, it's all week going on, but the live is at this time. And so leading up until that live, I usually do a little intro. I usually have a simple giveaway. And I'll be honest, some parties I have duds, no interaction, hardly at all. Some, everyone's commenting, everyone's liking. And I make it simple that they get into the entry of the drawing just by liking things or just by commenting things, like super easy. I get it. People are busy, and who wouldn't love a free this or that? And so leading up to the party, I will do an intro, make sure to get your notifications on. Here's what sets Young Living apart. I always have my husband post this little clip of video that he has of the distillation, because we went to the farms last summer the summer before last at convention. And then I will talk about thieves. I will talk about ninja. I'll do a little bit about the starter kit oils, but again, I don't want to give away too much because that's the whole point of the live. And then the live is just about 30-40 minutes. I tell a little bit about my story and making sure that we're not claiming to treat, cure, diagnose anything, but this is just my personal experience and how we've our personal testimonies and how we've used them. And then I go through the entire kit and I just talk about each oil and talk about ninja. I talk about the thief stuff. And then at the end, I talk about how you can get a kit. The benefits of ER. I really talk about ER and compare it to the Target Red Card. If anybody's heard that analogy, it just makes sense. Everyone loves Target, but you only get 5% back ever. And don't get your essential oils there. I love Target, but don't get your oils there. And Essential Rewards is just like, you already start out doubling that at 10%. And so I use that comparison. And I think when people hear that, it kind of just makes sense. And I had a friend tell me one time that she was like, people spend their money on stupider things. True. Some of the customizable, or not customizable, subscription boxes that are just like a surprise that you don't know what you're getting. And these ones, I emphasize that you can customize them to what you want, and that you're investing in your health. So I talk about ER and then talk about the amazing community because I think that's just so powerful. And then obviously I'm live. So if anybody's asking questions, they can do that. And then that's pretty much it. The last few days of the party, I will, post, obviously I make a post after the live of how-to steps to sign in or to sign up with the member number of the host. And so it goes through the steps, enter in this member number, so they know how to sign up. I make a post and a link with the income disclosure because we have to do that. And then I'll do like a bunch of graphics of things that people might have missed if they just want a quick overview of the live with each oil and their benefits, and then all the different kit options and their benefits of each one, or things like that. And then I just make sure I reach out to the host and she knows to interact and follow up. And I personally message people sometimes. I'll create a group chat in Facebook with the host and the person, so it's not constantly, well, she said this, okay, well, I'll tell her this, okay, she said this. So I just make a little chat and it's just super easy that way too. And yeah, and then by that time, the people that have signed up, I ask them, the host, to reach out and see what they would think about doing a party. And sometimes people say yes right away. Sometimes people say no right away, but then they come back 4 months later and they're like, yes. And then they have a killer party because they've had a chance to use the oils. So pros and cons about doing it right away or waiting because they have more time. But I always am saying, well, you were invested enough that you wanted to spend $125 or $165 into this. Why wouldn't you share it? So, yeah.
Awesome. That is great, valuable information, Heather. Thank you. Mm-hmm. For everybody else that is tuned in tonight, would any of you guys like to share, kind of how did you happen to meet your first member? If you can think back to who you enrolled first, and was that a turning point for you? Did you kind of see things differently, or? I see a few of you smiling. Anybody want to share?
I always think the first person is like easy and then it gets harder, but everyone's different. But I always think the first person's easy because it's like your best friend that you don't have to worry about like putting on a show for, or your mom or your sister or your cousin, or for some people it's their husband, because they want the $50 back. So I think though I get surprised when some people aren't even willing to share with their, their closest friends. And that might come back to the stigma of people thinking that they're selling. But yeah, I don't know. That's my
Okay,
opinion.
that's a good point.
Okay, so I didn't want to do this as a business. So Skyla's heard this before, but I did not want to do this as a business, but I did want the thieves. So Skyla connected me to get me the thieves because that was really important to me. And I was using the oils probably 9 months or more. And I happened to get my hair cut at my stylist, and I've been going to this person who should be on the call tonight, by the way, but she's not. But anyway, she's been doing my hair for 7 years, whatever. We're just good friends when I'm in her chair, we're just always goofing around. I mentioned something about the oils, and she goes, I want to do it. And I go, no, you don't. And she goes, I want to do it. And I go, no, you don't. And it was kind of like, a reversed kind of thing. She goes, no, seriously, I want to do it. I want to have a class. We're going to have it here. And I go, no, you don't. And she goes, yes, I do. So she did. And then so Skyla came because I didn't know anything about how to do this. So Skyla came, and of course she had a class and she had people wanting to do this. And she got all excited and, was going to do all this. And then Skyla goes, so Nita, you're doing the business. And I'm going, okay, so, and she goes, and by the way, you have to have 100 PV to get your first check. And you realize that, you'd be getting, and I'm going like, she goes, so you need to put a little bit more in by the end of the month. And I'm going like, okay, I'm doing the business. And then I have to say, like Heather, I had been in another MLM business, and I was shocked at Young Living's payback. Just for you to help a friend out, I was shocked. And then of course, she was shocked because she had this class that she signed up, I don't know how many, but several people. And she was like, oh my gosh. And so it was just kind of like that. And then it, how can you not share this? It helps people. I mean, how can you not share this? And so that's how I got signed up, or that's how I got into the business.
I love it. I love it. And sometimes it is a gentle nudge from someone else who really makes you take a different look at things. So I'm grateful for Julie. And if you all want to message Julie Schickel and tell her how much we missed her on the call tonight, I think that would be very funny.
I would love that if you all messaged Julie Schickel and told her that we missed her on the call tonight.
Oh my goodness. All right. Well, let's flip over here to the PowerPoint that we have for tonight. I'm going to share my screen real quick. And let's see here. All righty. Hopefully everybody give me a thumbs up if you can see that okay. Yes? Okay, great. Great. Okay, so the very basics of understanding this business are not complicated. And I want to preface the rest of this class tonight by saying, even when Young Living changes things, I've been around since 2007. Trust me when I say I have seen many different compensation plans. I have seen bonuses come. I have seen bonuses go. That will continue, okay? It is the nature of business. But even when that part of the business changes, the core of what we have to do to be successful does not change. So we are always going to introduce people to the products. We are always going to educate them on how to use them efficiently, safely, that sort of thing. And we are always going to teach them the most economical way to get their products, which is going to be on some sort of subscription program. And I'm throwing out the word subscription because if you have read anything about what is coming up in December. We are anticipating our new shopping platform to go into effect, and we are going to transition from calling it Essential Rewards to a monthly subscription. Okay, so just sort of tuck that one away. All of those core things are always going to remain the same, no matter what the rest of this looks like. So let's start by talking about what some of your goals might be. And if you are crystal clear on your goals, as we go through this, I would challenge you to think about members on your team. How do you suppose they would answer some of these questions? So, do you know anyone that would like to literally get their kit paid for and earn some free products? Anybody know anyone like that? Hopefully, I think that's a great place to start. Do you know anyone, or would you yourself like some extra income for vacations or some kind of splurges? You know, maybe you saw something for sale today on Cyber Monday and you were like, oh, but I really don't know if I should. I don't know if that fits into the budget. Sometimes just having a few $100 extra a month literally changes the budget and allows you to take some of those splurges. Some of you might work an extra part-time or full-time job, or you may know somebody that does. We can literally help people buy back their time by filling the void of whatever they were earning in a part-time job income, and that can give them more time for their family or more time for themselves. Young Living income can help pay off debt or a mortgage. It can help people retire early. We saw that at our house. My husband retired from his IT job at 46 years of age. And that's kind of non-traditional. And like Heather was saying, when she was sharing some of her goals for she and Ben, it truly was a goal of ours for Brian and I both to be home. Now, he wasn't home the majority of the time when our girls were growing up, but during their high school years, he has been a stay-at-home dad. And it's pretty powerful to have that force in their life. They know him a lot better now than they ever would have if he had been working, 40, 50, 60 hours a week. This residual income for life, that is a big deal. That is what can really help change your outlook on retirement. Some people are working really hard right now, but they are living paycheck to paycheck and they are not able to squirrel away money the way that they should to live comfortably in retirement years. When you build up a residual income now that will continue to pay you for years to come, that becomes a massive asset, and that's worth a lot. And of course, the final goal that we talk about a lot, it's hard to put a price tag on it, but when I ask people what their favorite part about Young Living is, oftentimes there are a lot of people who say, all the friends that I've made, the new family that I have, the community of like-minded people that I have met, that is a big deal. And that is something that we cannot put a value on, but people truly do enjoy that association. Okay, now this is pretty compelling. And this document has changed just a little bit because in our latest edition of the income disclosure statement, they changed the numbers from monthly income to annual income. So if some of you are looking at that and going, holy cow, I didn't know the average monthly income of a star was $251. It's not, okay? It's the average monthly income. If you want to know, divide that by 12, okay? So we're talking annual income here. And so this is what I want you to understand, when you first start out, the monthly income, it's not huge. And I'm not gonna hide that fact, okay? If I divide 251 by 12, that comes out to roughly $21 a month, okay? But what I want you to understand is that if you begin sharing, and your intention is to build this business, that means that some of the product that you have already fallen in love with, you're going to get a significant discount on, okay? And as Heather talked about earlier, Target typically doesn't give us a large portion of our spending back in free product. They do a small percentage, perhaps, but this is the first step towards more freedom, more free product, okay? So what I want you to do as you look through the different yearly incomes here, I want you to consider which rank or which level would make a noticeable impact in your family's budget. Okay, for some of you, having an extra, $500 a month, you're like, maybe that's not too much. Maybe that wouldn't really make that big of a difference. Other people, like, okay, hello, that might be my car payment. If I could erase my car payment from my budget, that gives me vacation money. And it translates. So go ahead and put in the chat. I can't see it right now, but you guys make a note of what level would truly be a noticeable impact in your family budget. And if you need to screenshot that to remember it for later, you can, or this is always available in the virtual office as well. All right, I'm going to go on to the next slide here. So your initial investment, everybody that is on this call right now, there may be people later that watch this that aren't members yet. And if that's the case, welcome. We're excited to invite you to join us. But everybody that's on here right now is a member. And so you have already taken the first step. You've made your initial investment. And there is nothing else that you have to do in order to be able to share with people. So tonight you could go out and contact your brother and your sister and your next door neighbor, and you could invite them all to join you on this oily adventure. And for each person that joins, you're going to earn roughly $50. Okay, it can go up from there, of course, depending on what they order, but the average is about $50. And so it's important for us to teach our new members that if you enroll 4 new people with premium starter kits in the very first month that they enroll, that they can get their kit paid for and have about $40 extra cash to boot. Okay, it's truly that simple. Now, this is, oh my goodness, this is a very frequent question. What do these things mean when people first get started? And we're going to go through this fairly quickly because these terms, at least those in the left-hand column, they are also going to be changing pretty soon when we go to our new shopping platform, and some of that language is going to change. So let's pay particular attention to the things that are on the right-hand column. Volume is everything that has a commissionable value of the product a distributor purchases each month, okay? PV is personal volume in a calendar month. So that's what you spend on product, okay? Also included in your PV, if you happen to have any retail customers, that also goes towards your PV. OGV stands for organizational group volume. And this is your PV plus everybody else in your organization added together. All of that makes organizational group volume, or OGV. And then the other thing that can be a little confusing sometimes are legs. And legs are what are formed when a distributor who has 100 PV enrolls someone, and it's any generation down below them in straight lines, that forms legs, okay? So you do not need to worry about legs until you are nearing the rank of executive, and that's when specific legs are required, 2 of them, to hit that rank. At the moment, there are some bonuses that are available, and we'll talk about those in a moment. But really, when you're starting out, new member star, senior star, the leg concept doesn't really play a vital role just yet. Okay, raise your hand if you are on Essential Rewards. Okay, so this is important because this is the most economical way for you to get your product. So if you have fallen in love with Ningxia Red and you know how good it makes you feel every month, we really and truly do want you to get it at the very best price possible, okay? So Essential Rewards is the monthly loyalty program. It's that wellness box that gets dropped off at your door. And what you'll see at the top there are the points that you receive back in the percentage points. We call them ER points. They increase rapidly. So the first 3 months that you're on ER, you get 10% of whatever you spend back in ER points. Months 4 through 24, you get 20% back. And then starting at month 25 and beyond, you get 25% back on every single ER purchase. Young Living also sends free gifts. Okay, they really do appreciate your loyalty. So at months 3, 6, and 9, and then again at 12 for your 1-year anniversary, they send sweet little gifts. Okay, you're also eligible for reduced shipping and extra products and promotions that pop up every now and then. All right, we've got 5 different ways to get paid. And they start out with the Start Living bonus and the Fast Start bonus. Those are right away when you enroll someone. And then there can be an ER bonus, a Silver Bound bonus, and then of course, UNILEVEL commissions. So the numbers that you see up here at the top, they correspond to what is required in order to earn those, okay? So number 1, for those first 2 bonuses, you need to purchase 50 PV in the month that you earned those. The ER bonus and the unit level commission require 100 PV. And then after your Fast Start period is over, you need to purchase 100 PV on Essential Rewards in order to get the Silver Bound bonus and those others after you're out of your Fast Start period, okay? So here's a little bit more information about those first 2 bonuses, the Start Living bonus and the Fast Start bonus. So when you enroll someone, you can earn a one-time $25 cash bonus when your new member purchases a premium starter kit. Now remember, we have lots of different premium starter kits. We have Ningxia and Thieves, and we have, my goodness, we've got the holiday one right now. We've got the CBD kit. What am I missing? Obviously the oils. I'm probably missing something. But there are a wide array of starter kits, so help meet the needs of your member. Not everybody is the same, okay? In order to get the fast start bonus, this is the one that can really make your paycheck go up, because you will earn a 25% bonus up to $200 each on your new personally enrolled distributors orders during the first 3 months. When a member that you enrolls someone else in that period, you're going to earn a 10% bonus up to $80 each on the newly enrolled distributor in the first 3 calendar months. So this is why we truly want to help our new members get off to a great start, both in understanding how we use the oils, but also in encouraging them to share, because those bonuses truly can add up in a hurry. And then we have the Essential Rewards bonus. If a member enrolls with a premium starter kit and they sign up on Essential Rewards with a 100 PV order at the same time, the enroller, so that could be you, will earn an extra $15 bonus paid out along with the starter kit bonus. And that truly, I mean, right out of the gate, help them put their premium starter kit on ER, and then you've got a month to help them set up their wellness goals, and then they can choose wisely what they would like to order the next month, okay? You do want to note that bottom part. If the 100 PV ER order does not process successfully in the second month, the bonus will return to Young Living the following month. I truly hate to see that happen, but it can. So that's where we really do want to be supportive and be in communication so that everybody, the enroller and the new member, has a good, solid education, solid communication on what is happening there. Okay, the Silver Bound bonus program. This is very exciting because it is a simple way to get everybody set up for success on down the road. So from the time someone enrolls, if they choose to pursue the business, when they hit STAR within 2 months and they have 2 legs at 200 OGV each, they've got an overall group volume of 500, they can earn an additional $50 bonus. Now, Senior Star requires an OGV of 2,000, and in order to get that extra bonus, they just need to have 2 legs of 500 OGV each. So you can kind of see, even though to become a star and to become a Senior Star, legs are not required to hit those ranks, but by encouraging people to start them early, we're sort of guiding them towards success so that they have the legs built to hit executive and silver, okay? And I love what Heather was talking about when she was sharing that since she, as the enroller, understands this bonus structure, she's able to articulate that clearly to her new members and just kind of say, okay, trust me, I'm going to guide you a little bit here. I know you don't necessarily understand everything as we begin, but I'm going to help set this up because I want to help you get the bonus. That's really pretty epic service, if you ask me, because we surely wouldn't expect everybody to understand it all right when they enroll. So if we can get a good idea of what it looks like for them to hit star and maybe even have a vision down the road towards senior star, they're going to catch on and they're going to have an opportunity to watch some of these classes and read some materials so that they know then what it takes for them to hit executive and silver. All righty, let's go on to the section on UNILEVEL commission. So this is another way that we can earn income. All right, we've got all these bonuses and then we have commission. So you can earn a commission anywhere from 4 to 8% of the PV of the purchases by members on different levels of your organization. When a new member on your team is in months 1 through 3, in other words, that's their fast start bonus, UNILEVEL commissions of 4 through 8% are paid out at 30% of the PV during those calendar months. Many of you, your heads are kind of starting to spin because it's almost 9 o'clock at night and you're like, what did she just say? Here's what I want to tell you. This is the part where I do not want you to get hung up on it. I have never, ever gotten hung up on this part. And I assure you, I did okay even still. Now, some of you are green, mathematical, like I want to understand every single penny of this. I'll help you through it if you desire. What I want you to understand though, is the basic structure here. So on your level 1, so that means your frontline people, you're going to earn 8% on those folks, okay? When they enroll someone, so they become your level 2, you're going to earn 5% on all of their PV. And as you move up in rank, star, senior star, executive, you start earning the ability to earn on additional layers deep, okay? So different levels down. And what you need to know is that even way down the road, even for us at Diamond, the bulk of our commission comes from this portion of the income plan, comes from UNILEVEL commission. Even though 8%, 5%, I know that doesn't sound like a lot, but when you multiply that by hundreds and thousands of people, this will become a significant chunk of your income. All righty, so rank qualifications, we talked about this just a little bit when we were looking at the silver bound bonuses, but this part right here takes the bonus out of the equation for the moment. So just so you are crystal clear on what it takes for you to rank up. You are a distributor if your PV purchases are anywhere from 50 to 100 and your overall group volume is anywhere from 100 to 499 PV. You become a star when your PV purchases are 100 PV and your organizational group volume exceeds 500. Fun fact, some people become stars on their own because they might purchase 600 PV in product. And that's okay, that happens sometimes. In order to become a senior star, that same PV requirement is always going to be 100, that won't change. In order to hit the senior star rank, you need 2,000 in overall group volume. And then at executive, you need 4,000 in group volume, but there are 2 leg requirements at this level, and each of those legs need to have at least 1,000 in OGV, and it doesn't matter where the other 2,000 comes from, okay? So that kind of gets you started on your path. All righty, so once you've got the basic understanding And you can rewatch this as much as you want to. You can also study things that are like in the Propel book or the Oil Share Repeat book or the Rise book. Then once you've got kind of a basic grip, that's when it's time to start sharing, okay? And honestly, I don't even care if you start sharing before you understand that, because your upline will guide you and will help you when you have questions. I always welcome questions about strategic placement. One of the things that I want you to know is that we have a special business building Facebook group that's called the Kind Crew. And pinned at the very top of that group is a video that I did about strategic placement. And I put all of the information that I could think of into that one video. So if you have any questions about how to structure your team for optimal bonuses, please go watch that one, okay? And the last thing I'll say about this is that we truly just want to help you meet your goals. That is the ultimate accomplishment, really. And so don't be shy about talking to your enroller or talking to your upline silver or to me, whoever it is. It can be a cross-line friend. Let us know what your goals are, because when we know your goals, we can help you much more strategically than if it's just like, oh, someday I would like to be, earning X number of dollars or be a certain rank. If you give us clear goals, we can give you clear plans. All right. So let's come back together here. And the last thing that I want to share with you is the magic business building sauce. Okay, so this is an oil called Abundance. And I have used this oil quite liberally ever since I started building a business, which was in the fall of 2012. And the whole idea of the Abundance blend is that it helps you function out of a place of abundance, because we know that like attracts like, right? When you're happy and people look at you, they're bound to smile more. But if I walk around yelling at people and griping, I'm probably not going to get an abundance of love in return. So the whole principle of this oil is that when you wear it, when you diffuse it, when you literally rub it on your phone or on your computer or on your checkbook, it radiates the energetic frequency of abundance. So it's like, if my pockets are empty, how in the heck am I gonna walk around like my pockets are full of money? Okay, not just Kleenex and cough drops, but money. And the answer to that is that you have to do something to shift your energy. I keep looking at Nita when I'm talking about this. I'm like, Nita is the expert on this. I should not be talking about this. But truly, we have to put ourselves in the place of abundance so that we can attract more abundance. And if you don't know how to do that, this is really helpful. And if you want more help, please call Nita, okay? Because she knows a lot more about that, all right? That is what I have for you tonight. I would love any other questions. I should probably open the chat box up one more time. I will certainly entertain questions, comments, stories, but thank you for coming.